So shiny.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow. I don't know why Gary was just singing, apparently, as I was starting this. Fucking hell. We are so unprofessional, it's unreal.
Mate, this is how my adolescent brain works, right? It's
What
just,
were you doing? What were you singing?
It was from Moana because it's so shiny.
Oh,
sorry.
right.
Oh,
Anyway,
I need to sort my life out, mate. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
things.
Brighton preview. Oh, sorry, it's killed me.
Yeah.
Brighton preview, everyone. It's a massive game. I mean, let's face it. Every one of these videos now, it's a massive game. It's a massive game. It's a massive game.
Massive game.
Massive game, and it's alive. But anyway, Gary, you've got tickets.
Yes, I've magically got tickets. Last minute thing, so now I've got a plan today how I'm going to get to Brighton tomorrow, early.
Anyone fancy giving Gaz a lift?
Yeah,
Let us know in the comments. Let us know.
I'm open. Like, subscribe, and tell us what's the best way to get to Brighton. I'm driving from Brum by looks of things. So, anyone got any specific journeys they'd take that's nice and easy and not going to take me all day to get there? I have been to Brighton before, but it was on a stag do, and it was very much laid back.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. A little bit of a different vibe. I also don't think it's like near. It's not in central Brighton. It's just outside, like as in. So I remember looking at the train and stuff, and I would have had to then get a taxi or something.
I bet any money, it's in a better area than Aston.
We've got to stop slagging off Aston. It's really bad. But anywho, massive game. We're going to go over here our predicted lineups. Yeah, we're going to go over our predicted lineups, and we are going to go over our predictions as well. Let's screw it. Let's start with our predictions, guys. So we're going to write them down, but we're not going to show them till the end. So obviously, get that average watch time hours up. But obviously, if you want to, just skip to the end if you want to.
If you really, fast forward to modern technology. But also put your score predictions in the comments.
Pop them down.
Think it's going to be.
Pop them down below. And also, same with your lineups. Do you think it'll be the same starting 11 as against Preston? Or do you think it will be mixed up a bit with Forest as well coming up at the weekend? What do you think? I'm just going to write down my predictions.
Massive games.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm going with that. Right, reveal those later.
It's written down. It's exciting. Stay tuned for the results at the end.
Anywho, Brighton, tough game this. Again, every single game that's coming up, other than maybe Southampton, is tough. Really tough.
It is tough. The saving grace is, and we've said this in previous shows, that it looks like we turned a corner. Our form's been pretty good in the last 3 or 4 weeks before the international break. Ali McCoist said this on TalkSport yesterday, that he feels like Bournemouth are slowly running out of steam, and I just think that Brighton, after watching that Forest game, like they're a good side, right? They pose a threat. Not going to say that, but I think they lack firepower up front. I do, and their biggest threat is Matoma, and he keeps getting subbed off. Like he took him off against Forest.
I can only imagine they're like trying to manage his minutes, and they're like, we need to. If he got injured, it's massive problem for them. But I mean, you sound their form. I will say that here. I mean, their form's pretty good, mate. Like they. Other than the massive drubbing they got from Forest, which was, by the way, a bit of an anomaly. Beat Chelsea in the FA Cup 4th round. Beat Chelsea again
in the league.
Less a week later. Battered Southampton. Beat Bournemouth. Beat Newcastle in the FA Cup. Beat Fulham. Drew with City. Narrowly lost to Forest. So they are actually kind of they're actually unbeaten for quite a while, and they're actually on very good form. So,
what I'm saying is, I'm hoping, mate, that after that Forest game, right, in the FA Cup. That it's not the stuffing out of them. Similar to what with Bournemouth, and Ali McCoy's point was that it could just mean they were going to run out of steam, because when you're fighting for, I don't know. I think sometimes we said this, like and the Villa have been better when they know they're playing twice a week, when they're competing in Europe, when they're playing in cup competitions, and then when you're just focused on the league, sometimes it's difficult because you go actually some teams you've got to go all out. I mean, they've got to try and win every game now in that league to finish in the European places. I'm not saying they're not going to go and do that, but I just don't know if they've got the depth in squad to do it. And watching them against Forest, and in that what was their previous game before the Forest game? City, yeah, they drew that, didn't they? No, it was
City. I mean, obviously City are City. Right now, though, they're not the City that we know.
They're not City, and Brighton will. But again, it was an even game. I think City probably still should have won that game in terms of chances that they created and didn't take, right? But Brighton managed to get a decent away point. And they are a good side. They will pose a threat. But I'm just hoping that we're on the trajectory of going into a massive couple of weeks where, we're still competing on the FA Cup. We're still going to Wembley, buzzing off that. We've got the Champions League coming up.
I'm hoping it's a case of this. I'm trying to do this whilst looking at myself on camera, which is quite difficult to do.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's that one. It's that one. I'm hoping it's a case of we're kind of on the up here, and they're perhaps plateauing and going a little bit down. So I'm hoping that we're hitting them at a good time. And it equally might be the same for a lot of the teams we're facing here, like Brighton. Forest are starting to not waver, but they're showing cracks here and there.
Yeah.
And so it might be just the right time that we're starting to play these teams, as we're on the up and they're all starting to.
We're clutching at straws because these two games, both Brighton and Forest, like you say, their form is decent. They're good sides. They're well organised. It's not going to be an easy game tomorrow. We have got to be on it. And I think, as I said in the previous show, now is the time to step up, raise levels, and really put in performances. And if we can do that, we've said it, I don't know how many times we've said it, we're capable of beating anyone. We've got the team to beat anybody. We can win that game tomorrow and we can beat Forest on Saturday. Like it's all to play for. But we've got to, in these moments, we've got to want it. We've got to believe it, and we've got to go out there and do it.
And the big question, Gary, is who do we think are the players that are going to do it? Love that segue.
Yeah, well done, mate. Well done. So that leads me into my squad lineup. Now, I've changed.
And obviously, like we said, if you've got your own lineups, pop them down in the comments below. We'd love to hear if there's any differences. Quite interesting on our last video where we were talking about like Watkins versus Rashford, and we got quite a lot where people were actually saying, get rid of Watkins. It's not good enough, blah, blah, blah.
We need to do a massive poll again, mate. A massive poll! Rashford, right?
Anyway, go.
Yeah, so my starting line, I mean, this is pretty much the same of what I put in, apart from I've changed out both fullbacks.
Interesting. What do you think?
Cash out, Garcia in. I noticed Ashley's probably back, but I just like Garcia's pace and Maatsen. So what for me, right? This is a game, Brighton, and it's probably, and I know this won't happen, but I would love to see us go out and try and actually win the game. Right, so really attack them, like kind of with Maatsen and Garcia both overlapping, Rashford and Rodgers doing what they can do, and Asensio giving that free roll, and see if we can just, if anything, like we've talked about it before, can we just outscore Brighton tomorrow? Do you know what I mean? Can we just go there and really have and just beat them because we've got a better team? Like that's the question for me. I don't think he'll go with this lineup at all. I think he'll stick with Dina at left back, and I think he probably might play Disasi at right back.
Interesting. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's a fair point actually. Because when you'll see mine in a sec. I was thinking about the weekend and Cash against his old club as well. So it's kind of like I feel like Cash needs to play at the weekend, but
and also resting players. Like I don't know, I almost put McGinn instead of Tielemans just to kind of give Tielemans a rest. I think. But at the same time, Tielemans is really influential for us, and him and Kamara.
They've all just, I say a rest. They've all had an international break, so they haven't actually rested during that period. But we've also talked before about having a consistent 11, right, and trying to have actually those players on the pitch actually consistently playing and trying to get more chemistry, get those kind of like patterns of play, get like some kind of consistent back four. Because I do think. I don't think there's any massive coincidence that we've had 3 clean sheets in our last 4 games, and we've actually had a bit more of a consistent back four. We haven't been we haven't been changing someone in defence at like 60 minutes.
No, mate, and also Kamara will buy massively into that. He would have. That's the key to there. I would. Again, like I've put Watkins in this team because as much as he frustrates the hell out of me, like I want him to do well. I want him to kind of prove me wrong. I do, right? And But again, does Emery keep the faith with him for this game? Because he's coming back from injury, or does he stick with what he did with Preston and put Ramsey and move Rashford to
Well,
the
it's
number
also
9?
the case of, again, does he want Watkins for Saturday and does he want him fresher for Saturday?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Actually, does he bring him on for the final 30, get him some minutes, and then actually on Saturday it's more that we need that kind of player maybe running the channels a little bit more against Forest, because they're going to play on a counter, right? So it's arguably the way we play plays right into their hands. But anyway, that's for the Forest preview. But with Brighton, I mean, I've gone for.
Let's have a look at yours.
I've gone for basically the exact same as against Preston.
Oh,
so
okay,
I've gone. I don't know why you change it. I think we played well. We kept a clean sheet.
Yeah.
The majority, I worry about Matoma, and I think that Cash is probably going to be better than Garcia at trying to marshal that.
Yeah.
Whether that is Disassi, I didn't think about that. But I think Garcia I like going forward, but I prefer Cash or Disassi holding on the right hand side.
Yeah.
I think he start up personally. I'm like, he's just scored his first 2 goals for the club. I don't understand why he wouldn't start Rashford up front. I'm just like, JJ was fantastic, I thought, as well against Preston. So I'm like, look, he's on a high. He scored. I feel like those front 4, it's really hard to drop them after that game. I'm like, I don't know why, but Emery's done it before. Emery doesn't seem to kind of go, well, you scored 2 in the last one, so you're playing this one. He doesn't tend to do that.
No, I think he likes to make little changes, doesn't he, just to try and keep things a little bit fresh. It hasn't always worked out.
It's also depending on the tactic, right?
I'm just trying to get into Emery's psyche, and that's the reason why I changed my fullbacks, because I think he'll want to rest them for with the Paris games coming up and stuff like that. Because I think he'll play.
Yeah, you're right, and also
the
pace of Forest as well. You're going to want. I mean, that's the only reason I'm like, well, does he actually play Maatsen against Forest or something like that? Because it's just pace. They've got just pace coming out of their ass.
But I'm with you, mate. I think you don't change a winning team. That I would argue that you kind of give them the benefit of the doubt and go, well, you've won the last game. Right, we'll start with that, and then you've got the options from the bench after after half time, or if you just don't be afraid to change it. Which Emery's not afraid to change it. I think if it doesn't work, he will change. So I kind of agree with that. I just my opinion was that I just want us to now take that next step up and really go at teams and try and beat them. And we have got a squad now that can potentially do that. And mixing it up isn't a bad thing if everyone knows that the game time they're going to get. It only breaks down if and we don't know this because we'll never know this, but if you're keeping players second guessing all the time and you're not letting them know when they're playing, they tend to drop off. But I don't think Emery's like that. I think everyone knows they've got a job to do, and with the games we've got coming up, knows they're not going to play every single minute, particularly fullbacks and midfielders.
I did wonder whether to throw. I did wonder whether you throw Torres in. I'm wondering at what point he tries to bring him back into the team. Because I'm but I'm kind of thinking of the fact that we've kept clean sheets the last 4 games, and I'm like, don't rock that. But it would be interesting because he won't play against Forest because their pace, so Torres will just get massively exposed. Potentially against Brighton,
it could be
there.
Yeah.
But anyway, on that, on consistently moving up, let's have a look at.
We're moving on.
Premier League table. So obviously it's always if, buts, and maybes. But again, mate, you can talk about that form. Fucking hell. It's actually quite crazy. Massive game, like we said, because obviously we can overtake them. Massive game because we've then got Forest. So we actually, if we win here and then claw in, we could actually draw 3 points in on Forest as well, which puts us right up their asses again as well. So I mean, obviously we're playing all these teams. This is
like I say, mate, it couldn't be any tighter, and it couldn't be any more definitive.
How are we not? What's crazy is that we're sitting there going, we're so close to 5th, but we're 9th. It's like absolutely crazy.
Thing is, we are 9th, and now we've got to do it, mate, because anything other than the win tomorrow, really, I think Champions League in league position dream will be well and truly over.
Like the -4.
Yeah, I mean, that's we've talked about this a lot, haven't we? It's a problem, and it's been a problem because we haven't hit the heights defensively, and we haven't scored as many goals as we did last year because
Yeah,
we have had injuries and we haven't been consistent enough. So
yeah,
I think this will massively improve next season. I think they'll either get reinforcements in or we'll just have a more of an established team to kind of, if we can avoid any more serious injuries, that is, obviously. So yeah, I mean that the league doesn't lie at the end of the day, and we are ninth, and we probably are where we deserve to be at the moment. But our current form, like Brighton's, has been good, and if we can win tomorrow, it's a massive game for them too. Because if they win, they're putting themselves in prime position for a European place, aren't they? Which is going to be their target, and they have got no other distractions other than the league. So you could say it's all in for them. But I'd like to think now, I really want to see Emery's experience come through in managing these moments. Do you know what I mean? And getting us over the line in these difficult games, because these are the kind of things that are going to define him as a manager and us as a club, really, and which direction we're going in. Because we've talked about this before. Like I think it was on the last episode where, the bottling days have got to be over when we've had these opportunities.
I mean, we've had this thing where we're like broken the hoodoos, we've broken the records and all these kind of things over the past couple of seasons.
Yeah.
But this season, and arguably a bit last season as well, there's definitely been moments where we just haven't taken advantage of the situation. Like we haven't won when the teams around us have lost, or we haven't won that game where it's like, oh, if we won that, we jump above them. Or we did it last season. I feel, if I remember rightly, we were stuck in was it last season or the season before? We were stuck in 11th forever.
Yeah,
it was us and Chelsea,
because we were in 4th for so long last
year. Oh
yeah,
you're right. Yeah, well, last season we were fighting for the title and stuff. But the season before last, we were in 11th for ages, and then I can't remember if it was when we beat Chelsea or we beat someone and we jumped them. Then we just went on.
Yeah.
That could be this.
Yeah,
that could be this. We've been stuck in this kind of 9th, 8th place for a while.
Well, I say one of us, Brighton, Bournemouth. I would say Fulham, but I think Fulham were crushed after that FA Cup defeat. Newcastle, Newcastle, are the ones really for me. I think having won the Carabao Cup, I think they're going to be on an absolute high. I think they're going to be really tough to beat. They're a good side as well.
It's interesting. I can't work out how they're going to go. I'm kind of actually going. They're on a massive high. They're in Europe. They've done that. They've won, and then they could just be like, they could have an okay end to the season, but they'll be like, look, we won a trophy and we're in Europe. So for us, it's a successful season. But they also have a game in hand, obviously, on everyone as well. So they're in actually a better position than they are.
The thing is that their owners want Champions League football, mate. That is the key thing. They're going to be gunning for that, right?
Just like
and you've got Man City as well in the mix of that, and Chelsea. Now, I saw a podcast.
Forest are really messing this stuff up for us, aren't they? They're messing up the numbers.
They are, yeah. I mean, Chelsea are the one for me that could potentially drop out of that race. Their form has been very, very poor. They could turn it around, but I just don't know if their manager has got enough experience to do that.
I think actually, surprisingly, missing Nicholas Jackson. I think that's actually affected them. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's. I
was not expecting that, mate. Nicholas Jackson.
That's maybe affecting them a little bit more than it otherwise would do. But yes, you're right. I think these next 3 weeks, the whole of that top 8, top 9 is going to become a lot clearer.
Yeah, it will.
And I think there will be teams that will pull away. There'll be teams that fall off, and I think there'll be a gap. There'll be like a 6-7 point gap probably coming from 6th.
We need to be there now. I think we
need to be 6th.
Yeah, and I almost feel like it's we've had such a riddled couple of seasons with injury, but now we can't use that. We've got players that are coming back. The only thing you can say is probably lack of game time for Torres and co like that, and But other than that, we
Barkley, all them,
Barkley as well, and Arna, but arguably Barkley and Onana, are they starters? Probably not. So, but they are good squad players, and therefore we've got strength in depth coming back and through. So actually, you would argue if we can keep that consistent 11, right, and they can run their nuts off and do the damage. You've got good players like McGinn. Like,
McGinn ain't getting a look in at the moment.
Against Preston, like the changes that were made, like I was like, wow, how far have we come? Like you're taking these players off, and it's like almost like for like. So
the thing that I worry, the thing that I feel like some of our upturn and form has come with, like I said, that kind of more consistent 11. And I worry that the only reason we've had that more consistent 11 is because we've had to.
Yeah.
And so like now we're getting these players back, and I'm like, don't tinker with it too much. Like we're on the fine line of something that's kind of working here, Emery. Like don't go tinkering too much. And I feel like he might tinker, and he'll be like, oh, give him minutes, keep him fresh. We need to rotate. And I'm like, fuck it. We've got our last 9 games in the league. We've got 2 with PSG, and then we've potentially got 2 more. So what's that? 13 games.
Yeah.
Just play a consistent 11. 13 games.
Yeah.
They can do that. They can surely do that. And if someone has a shitter, drop them. Then we've got someone else who comes back in.
Yeah.
But only 1 or 2. It's not this whole fucking like, oh, we're gonna play with 3 centre backs or like
mate, you have to. Any good team over the years, even in the history of the Premier League, the core of the team doesn't change. So your 2 centre halves, your centre midfielders, and your forward attacking option should always be the most consistent. The rest of them, you can have players that drop in and out because the roles are very similar, whether you're playing full back or on the wing or whatever. But your striker and your 2 centre midfielders, where you play 1 holding or 1 attacking, or you play 2 holding, whatever it is, and your 2 centre halves have to have that understanding, because that's where all the play comes from. Like, do you know what I mean? So, and if we can do that, we stand a great chance, because I just think I don't know. I'm optimistic about this running. I think we can do it. I do.
I think for me, like these 2 fixtures. It's these 2 fixtures, so for instance, okay, these 2 fixtures, or 3, because it's a fucking hell. Brighton, Forest,
PSG first leg,
PSG, and then Southampton, and then PSG.
Southampton, right?
So predict your. So you go right. Okay, Brighton. So say, what if we draw?
Yeah, I'll take a draw.
Okay. Forest.
Got to win at home, mate. Our home record's great. I
feel like with Brighton and Forest, I think we've got to win one of them.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'm like, if don't lose either of them, but win one of them.
Yeah.
And then PSG, I'm just like, look, I'm just here for the crack. Like I'm just kind of
enjoy the ride. Go out there and try and beat them. Don't be scared of them and go and beat them.
Yeah. It's just a case of like, I think we've said before, damage control away from home. I think we will park the bus a bit and play counter. Yeah. And if we can keep it within 1 goal, there's something to look forward to and to bring back to Villa Park.
There's no shame in getting beaten by PSG in the quarterfinals.
No, of course there isn't.
PSG haven't lost all season in Liga. So
but we're gonna go. I love that.
We're gonna beat them.
You who sent me that thing where it was like, or someone sent the thing and it was like, PSG away. PSG, yeah, we can beat them. Yeah. Oh, then we've got Madrid, yeah. Palace.
They're our bogey team. We can't beat them.
Yeah, right, that's so good. Mate. So good.
So the thing is,
okay, hang on. And then, I haven't finished what I was doing. So you got Brighton and Forest win 1, draw the other.
Yeah.
PSG, I'm just gonna ignore for now because I'm just like, they're free hits for me.
Yeah.
Southampton coming off the back of an away game against PSG, you have to win.
Yeah. Well, 100%.
We absolutely have to win. And then, if I remember rightly, is it Newcastle?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us in the comments. We probably got that wrong. It's probably Bournemouth or something, but I feel like it's Newcastle. And then again, I'm like looking at it going, we have to win. So I'm kind of sitting there going, the next 4 Premier League games, we need to win 3 and draw 1. It's a massive ask. And also that second game will again be
the massive ask is winning all 4. The massive ask is winning all 4. Like, because
after two massive Champions League games.
Look, it's as tough as a job as it'll ever be, but it doesn't mean it's not possible. It just means we've got to find something extra. And can we do that? And ultimately, can we be clinical in front of goal in these games? Because we will inevitably create chances. Right? We don't have to win the games magnificently and play the better football and be the best team. We just have to grind it out, mate. We have to be solid at the back and take our chances when we get them. And if we win these games, if we were to win all of those games 1-0, mate, I'd be.
I also think though that I think some of those teams will slip up as well. So I think like
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think win 2 of them, draw 2, just do not lose. Do not lose any of those games. And I don't mean play not to lose. I just mean losing would be really bad because they extend
the gap. Yeah, the gap. We've got to stay in touch. Like, because if results go for us and we pick up points, that's okay. Do you know what I mean? Like that, we've got to stay in touch.
Just got to be in touching with those last 5 games. The running, just got to be in touching, and that's all we got. But in terms of being in
tomorrow night, mate,
it starts tomorrow night, which brings us on to our predictions. So,
if you've stayed tuned for 25 minutes and you've left some comments, your score predictions, let's see if we've got them matched up. All right,
3, 2, 1. Oh, clean sheet.
I've got clean sheet, mate. Come on.
Paper. How small's that piece of paper? Is it like a post-it?
Yeah, well, I've used this for the last 3 predictions, so I've just folded it.
Did you spell Villa wrong or something? Did you put 3 L's?
Well, I put I put a 0 for some reason. I don't know what.
Villo.
Villo. I was thinking of a shiny, mate. It's so shiny.
We're both going for the wins, but it's going to be tight.
I think it's going to be tight. I, as you just said, I'd take a point, but I think a scrappy 1-0 win or all day long, mate. Like, just we just nick it? You know, can we nick it and come away with 3 points and be buzzing?
We haven't really done that a lot. We've had games where we haven't played well, or we've drawn or come back from a losing position, but we haven't really like ground out a win. I think there's a couple. Everton comes to mind.
Yeah, Everton. That's the last one. January. Yeah. I went to that one as well, mate. We won 1-0. Come on.
Come on. Have you lost at a game yet? Away game.
I went to that Palace game, didn't I?
Oh, fucking hell. That was dreadful, mate. Anyway. Right. Anyway, that'll do us, I think, here. We will be back with a Brighton post-match on Thursday. And then we've got the Forest preview. We will be getting not 1, but 2 guests on for the Forest game. My father-in-law and his friend. They will both be coming on, lifelong Forest fans. So you'll have, it's all right. You'll feel young again, guys. It's fine.
Well, yeah, and that's a very rare thing, mate. So I'm excited about that.
But as always, everyone, if you love this or if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Our subscribers keep going up, and we're almost at, I think of this, shooting this, we're almost at 1,100, which is mental. Like, please subscribe, let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Share it around, all that kind of stuff. But Gary, go on.
And let us know if we've made any mistakes, because we love that too, because we've made so many.
We definitely have. I did check. It is Newcastle. That we have after PSG. Gaz, sing us out, mate.
Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue.
Cheers, guys.
Peace and love.